Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing things no one tells you about being a Pilates instructor. Now, I did make a video not too long ago of my 6-month review being a Pilates instructor, and that was really just a recap of how the first 6 months went being a full-time teacher. This video is going to be a bit more reflective, and I'm going to touch on some topics a little bit deeper that I kept a little bit more surface level in that video. In this video, I'm going to touch on 5 or 6 different main topics, and I'll make sure to leave chapters below so that you can skip forward and back just depending on what it is that you're really here for. The reason I'm making this video is because I just hit 1K subscribers, yay, which I'm so excited about, and I really feel like my channel started to take off once I started really incorporating my Pilates content and talking more about like behind the scenes of being an instructor, things of that nature. And so I'm hoping that this video will resonate with you guys and will be helpful whether you're a Pilates instructor, you're thinking to become one, or maybe you love Pilates in general and you're just really interested in what being a teacher is like. So hopefully this video is helpful for that. People also often DM me just like asking about becoming a teacher, what it's like. There's a lot of discussion online right now about being a teacher and Pilates in general, and I just feel like there are certain topics that people just really don't highlight, and so hopefully I can deep dive a little bit more into those topics today. The first thing that no one tells you about being a Pilates instructor is that teaching Pilates is emotional work, and I feel like this is something that people outside of the industry don't necessarily realize. Every teaching situation is different. Let me just say that right now. I personally see a lot of private clients who have very specific conditions, things going on with their body that they need help with. And so my work tends to be a lot more emotional. I don't know if that's the right word, but it can be a little bit draining or taxing on the instructor to not only be emotionally and mentally available for your clients, whether they're just talking about their day, things that are going on in their life, but also remembering clients' injuries and limitations and holding space for clients in general. That's like a huge thing because people will come in and one day they are 100% there, they're feeling good, they want to do all the challenging things that you have planned for them, and then the next day they come in and maybe something bad happened at work, maybe they're just not feeling well, whatever the case may be, and they just come in on a completely different energy. And so now you as the instructor have to be able to adapt and figure out how to show up emotionally and support your client in the way that they need for that day. And of course, with that, you're managing several different types of personalities, people from all walks of life, and that's with any service-based job or person-facing job, whether that's being an instructor, a waitress, whatever it may be. You're going to have to manage different personalities. And so if you're not a people person, this can be very, very, very emotionally taxing on you. So that's just one thing I just feel like people don't talk about, is that sometimes, like, even after teaching one class, you just feel like you have to go outside and like take a moment for yourself, because not only are you like talking and expressing yourself for that whole hour, but like you're also taking in feedback, whether that's non-verbal or verbal feedback from people all day long, and it can be a lot. So teaching Pilates can be emotional. Number 2, scheduling is very unconventional. A lot of the time as a Pilates instructor, you will be considered a contractor or 1099. The hours in which that you work can just be very different than maybe your partners or your friends or whoever it is that works a maybe regular 9-to-5 job. You may have a very unconventional schedule. So like for me, some days I'm starting at 9 a.m., some days I'm starting at 2 p.m., and I work till 7 p.m. And so that can be a little bit difficult when trying to navigate like schedules, like family schedule and things like that. I don't have any children yet, so that doesn't really affect me too much at home, because when I get home is when I get home and it's not a huge deal. But someone who has like a family or something like that, evening classes in Pilates are very, very popular. And that's just something to take into consideration and to know if and when you are considering being a Pilates instructor. And a lot of the time you'll have those midday gaps, right? So let's say you have a cancellation in the middle of the day, you're not getting paid for that hour. Again, if you're an independent contractor, that can be inconvenient for some because you feel like you're not necessarily wasting time, but you're kind of just sitting there not getting paid. Now, in some teaching environments, the gym or the studio will pay instructors for downtime to do other tasks in the studio. I've never worked at a studio like this, but I've heard places like, don't quote me, but I think like Equinox, for example, they'll pay instructors like a very small amount per hour to do like more administrative tasks if they don't have a client for that hour. So finding kind of what works for you, your schedule. For me, I found that limiting breaks in my schedule works the best. So I'll do longer blocks with no break, because that way, if I do get a cancellation, that ends up being my break. If I don't get a cancellation, I don't get a break, and that's just how that goes. I'm just gonna have to push through for that 4 or 5 hour block and then take my break afterwards. So something to consider as well. Number 3, as a Pilates instructor, you probably will be doing less Pilates. So obviously, being a Pilates instructor, you fall in love with doing Pilates first, right? Like, I was introduced to Pilates because I joined a gym that had a Pilates studio. I got 5 free Pilates classes to start, so I started taking Pilates, got addicted to it, loved it. Then I joined my teacher training program after that. But the reason that I became a Pilates instructor is because I love doing Pilates. Like, I physically love the action of doing Pilates. But as I became a teacher, I got really invested in learning how to teach another body how to do Pilates. And of course, a lot of that teaching comes from the fact that I know whatever exercise I'm teaching is supposed to feel like, or because I've done it before, so I know how to teach it back. And that's super important when it comes to teaching. You have to know in your body what that person is feeling. I mean, it makes you a better teacher, right? But as you start teaching, your schedule starts to fill up. You do less Pilates. Like, I have to be super intentional about getting practice in myself, because a lot of the time I'm in and out of the studio. Like, I'll have a 5 hour block teaching. By the end of the 5 hours teaching classes, teaching privates, I'm like ready to go home. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really trying to stick around at work for another hour to like practice. And so a lot of my practice time comes if I have a cancellation. That's just something I have to do better at, to be honest with you. Like, I should be registering for my own classes and taking Pilates myself as much as possible. Sometimes that's just not the priority once you're teaching and you have a bunch of clients with a bunch of different stuff going on and you're trying to keep up with that. And so your practice goes to the back burner and you don't continue that. So anyways, that's just something to think about and prioritize or if you become a teacher. If you just love doing Pilates and that's just something you want to do every single day as much as possible, becoming a teacher can actually make you do less Pilates sometimes. Now, I don't want to like speak for everybody, but that's just been my personal experience. Okay, I think we're on number 4, but number 4 is every studio is not created equal. Every studio is different. Obviously, I'm not going to name names in this video about like this studio does this way and this studio and I prefer this and that. Every studio has a different teaching style. I've been at studios that have a mix of contemporary and classical styles. I've been at studios that are mostly contemporary. I've been at studios that are mostly classical. And I personally was taught classically, and I feel the most comfortable teaching in a classical environment. With classical teaching, with classical environments, comes a completely different studio culture. And that's just how that is. Like, it's a different environment. And so as someone who loves Pilates, first and foremost, I would just get acclimated with different environments in which Pilates is being done, right? Like, some studios have 20 something reformers in their studio. Some studios have no more than 3. in a class, no more than 5 in a class. And not only are the clients in that studio different than maybe clients that would be going to a studio that has 30 reformers in a room, it's just different. With different teaching styles, different studio environments comes just different expectations, right? Like we all have to have realistic expectations of the environment in which we're teaching in, and know that not every environment is going to have everything that maybe you like unless you have your own studio, unless you open your own studio one day and you create the environment in which you would like to teach in and all the things that you find important in a Pilates environment. But with that being said, it's very important to find the right environment for you, whether that's your teaching style, the demographic that you enjoy teaching, the pay, all those things play a factor in what kind of environment you will enjoy, not only as a teacher, but also as a studio goer, as a client, or as a person that enjoys Pilates. So I think your best bet as somebody who is interested in this space is just to take classes. Like, go to as many studios as you can and learn what the teachers are doing differently, what the culture is in those studios, what you like, what you don't like, and find a home studio to take Pilates, to teach Pilates, whatever that is, that fits you the best, and be happy and be good with that. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, and number 5 is the evolution of the job. The job evolves over time. When I initially started teaching Pilates, I felt like I did not fit the stereotypical look or persona that a Pilates teacher is supposed to have or carry, which actually does not exist if you were unaware. There's no specific body type or anything that makes you more of a fit to do or teach Pilates. And I found that my confidence significantly grew once I learned that, and once I realized, because I'm teaching Pilates, certain people are more comfortable taking my classes, for example. Like, it just creates space for more people. And that's the goal as a teacher, is just introduce Pilates to as many people as possible, because it changed my life. So I know it's going to change your life, right? So it's like, I want as many people as possible to fall in love with Pilates because it's so good for you. And I truly believe everyone should be doing it. So anyways, all that to say, the more you teach, the more you stay in this career, the more your confidence is going to grow. And that just really comes with time and repetition and teaching and interactions and feeling nervous and doing it anyways, and being scared and doing it anyways. So that's really in any area of life, that's how your confidence grows. But specifically teaching Pilates, because that's what we're talking about, you just got to do it. Also, your teaching voice develops. Teachers have specific teaching voices, you know what I mean? And when I think about a teaching voice, I specifically think about solid core, because they have like a specific, like, I don't know, I just remember going to solid core and being like, I feel like this is like a solid core like voice, Now, as a teacher, your voice is going to develop, and you're gonna realize that some clients resonate with your teaching voice in your teaching style, and other clients just don't resonate with you and they prefer a different teaching style. And that is a great thing, because not everyone is for you. You're not for everybody. And that's how you develop your uniqueness in this space. Like, you don't want everybody to be exactly the same, because then nothing's going to differentiate us as a teacher. Like, nothing's going to differentiate me, this person taking my class versus my peers' class. So your voice will develop. That also takes time. And then also taking classes gives you a lot of information on what it is that you like and what you don't like as someone taking the class as well. So that's always great information and a great takeaway when taking other teachers' classes. Now, just a little bit of encouragement for my aspiring teachers, or for people who have been teachers and maybe just need a little bit of you know, a little reminder. If you love movement and you love helping people, this career is so rewarding. It is so rewarding, and people come back because you make them feel good. That's what draws people back to Pilates, and even back to you specifically, because you made them feel good and you helped them. And it's just a very rewarding career because you are getting immediate feedback from people that you are helping them. And to reiterate, growth takes time in any industry, but also in Pilates, growth takes time. You just gotta give it time. You gotta do this for a little while to really get good at it. And me personally, I still don't feel at my prime. Like, I genuinely see Pilates instructors now and I'm like, that's inspiring because I can't do that. That's inspiring because I wouldn't have taught that way. Or maybe I just wouldn't have taught that exercise at all, because I'm not sure if I would have been able to teach that exercise appropriately so that no one gets hurt or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's always room to grow and get better, whether that's in your own practice or whether that's teaching or understanding or learning the body. Like, there's so much growth to be done when you're in this space that the evolution is crazy. Like, if you're someone that loves to learn and loves to evolve, like, this is gonna be your jam. So I'm gonna end the video there. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you are an aspiring teacher, if you are a teacher, if you just love Pilates, leave me a comment below. I'd love to chit chat with you in the comments. And let me know if this video was helpful. Let me know if you like videos like this one. I will continue to make them. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to answer them, love to help you guys out, and love to connect. So with all that being said, make sure to like this video, leave me a comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.